We're your typical immigrant story. We came to Canada with absolutely nothing. I remember coming to Canada when I was 4, and as new beginnings go, I think often there are challenges. So I remember growing up as a latchkey kid at the age of 5. I didn't see my dad much. He worked 3 jobs, and my mother worked full-time. With very little resources, it was very challenging, obviously, to get me a babysitter or go to camp. So I literally kind of grew up in factories. We were fortunate enough where their employers would allow them to bring me to the factory while they were working. And I remember at a factory, at a textile factory, there's bolts of fabric and there's lots of shelving. And I remember him bolting me up there as a child. And I used to watch just the actions of the production floor. The story of our factory, and I guess our family story, business story, is that my dad founded a small sewing contracting company with his brother and sister in 1988 with 5 people and 10 machines. I'm so proud of the family business. We were able to break into what we call the main market. You know, we were making for a number of retail brands. And I look back and I think back now, I remember when I think about entrepreneurs, we call them entrepreneurs now, but back in the day, like, the bosses. The bosses that looked like us serviced communities like us. I think it was unique to have families that looked like us servicing and being part of the business environment that wasn't part of our community. Fast forward to the 90s, and we are directly employing close to 500 people. We've expanded where we're close to 200,000 square feet occupying, and everything we did was in Canada, in Toronto specifically. When we started, or when my dad started the factory, or didn't even imagine how much it would have changed the trajectory of our family. And I guess that's why I'm so passionate about supplier diversity, recognizing that everyone needs an opportunity to get your foot in the door. One of the initiatives we started at Redwood Classics, which I'm extremely proud about, is every week we have a Woman of the Week campaign. The purpose of the campaign is to amplify female voices, regardless of industry capacity. I realized it's a responsibility to encourage others. I didn't realize I had a voice until I got inducted in the EY Winning Women program, by which there were these opportunities to use my voice, and I was encouraged to do so. I didn't even think of myself as a leader until others celebrated me. And if you have a platform, I realized it's a responsibility to encourage other female entrepreneurs to use their voice as well, because that is how we will break the bias, when we share our stories, when we are willing to be vulnerable by using our voice. I do a lot of volunteer work in the diversity space. I'm on the board for CAMPC, which is Canadian Aboriginal Minority Supplier Council. I'm also on the D&I task force for an industry association called PPAI. I was also part of the founding suppliers in Weeby Canada's Supplier Advisory Council. And I also mentor wherever I can. To all the leaders and entrepreneurs, let's recognize that each individual has their own story. Those on your team or in your organization, perhaps there's an opportunity for us to embrace the differences, embrace the diversity of thoughts and the diversity of opinions, And I personally believe that is how we will be a stronger and more embracing society. Thank you, Acend Canada, for having this amazing platform to celebrate stories, to amplify voices, and to inspire our future generation. This is a complete honor, and I am so humbled to be able to be part of this 10-year celebration.